Hey, welcome back everybody, and today we're going to be doing a little breakdown of the trailer announcement for the Dark Pictures, Anthology series that Until Dawn creator Supermassive Game is working on. And the first game in this anthology series is Man of Medan. And in essence, the trailer or announcement trailer will start pretty soon, but in essence, it features a group of drivers investigating a World War II shipwreck who then appear to discover horrors buried in a plane wrecked at the bottom of an ocean. So, these trailers, of course, are from the PlayStation channel, and then I also have my IGN video towards the end, like a playthrough of the first 9 minutes. I'll just kind of go, give my thoughts in the first 9 minutes and what I think and how I see things going. So, so far, so good, so good. If you've played Until Dawn, Hidden Agenda, or Impatient, you're very familiar with the type of horror game they have made. And while I do agree, while I firmly believe that Quantic Dreams is the #1 studio in terms of narrative-based games, I think Supermassive is like the #2 right now. I feel like they kind of overtook Telltale Studios in terms of story narrative games, only because Telltale kind of made a lot of products that weren't as good as the first Walking Dead Season 1. Not saying that they were bad, just they weren't at the same caliber. And whereas a Supermassive game, they made a massive hit Until Dawn, which was huge. And then Hidden Agenda wasn't as big, but it actually was a really good game. So it was more so low-key but high quality. And this anthology series, Man of Medan, looks to be kind of like Hidden Agenda, which I like. Hidden Agenda. It's actually one of my favorite games of 2018. And the fact that it wasn't really a AAA game, but more of a low-key, high-quality game is good. But for so far, I mean, you've seen the gameplay that's about to start, but I'm pretty sure that everybody could die in these, that part was nice. I'm pretty sure everybody could die, Man of Medan, which comes out in 2019, similar to how in Hidden Agenda all the characters could die. And I'm guessing that each episode or each game within the anthology series that is connected in the same universe, I'm guessing that they all have, well, besides being connected to the same universe, but they all have consequences that go from one game to the next, which is what they're boasting. So imagine like a bunch of hidden agenda games that are stitched together with your choices, which I think is phenomenal, because I really, and it'd be funny if Hidden Agenda is actually rolled into this same universe. That would be kind of cool, same as Until Dawn. But in essence, this is the gameplay directly from IGN YouTube channel directly, because they were able to get footage of it at Gamescom, and I'm only just using this more so for a narrative breakdown. So I'll leave a link to the original video below on IGN's channel, so go support them. Definitely, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to IGN. But in essence, it kind of gives a good indicator of the characters we're running into.
Whatever. Where's the old crust bucket skipper anyhow?
So is everybody on board and ready to go? Nothing to report.
So it looks like there's about 5, maybe 6 characters on this boat so far. I'm guessing there's a scenario where all of them die. One thing I did fault in Until Dawn, that even though Until Dawn had a rich cast of characters, not all of them had a fulfilling story. So I don't expect the narrative story to be really excellent for all the characters in this game. There's probably going to be 1 or 2 standouts, kind of like Mike and Emily, or maybe some people like Jessica too, from Until Dawn. So of course it seems like the main character is the lady in the red shirt. I don't know her name yet, probably just gonna call her lady in the red shirt. And then there's also another guy in there. I don't know his name either, because again, this is a new trailer, so I'm trying to listen to hear for the name. But she's the main person you're playing with, kind of like in an agenda where the main person you're playing with is Becky Marnie.
All right, come out. Show yourself.
What I'm curious to know is that is this connected to the Until Dawn universe also? Because in this one, it's not Wendigos that are killing them. It seems like it's ghosts in the ship, or whatever it is, either ghosts, zombies, they're not quite sure, or ghouls. So, and then you have Wendigos from Until Dawn. Hidden Agenda wasn't about anything supernatural, so you can't count that. And then Impatient was technically still a Wendigos, but with some psychological aspect, because you're in a psych ward, so there's probably drugs affecting your mind. Gameplay looks to be improved. They seem like they narrowed the choices, just 2 choices. And then, of course, those choices branch the further you go. And I also like the design that they did when you're making choices. It's less like it's showing your left and right hemisphere of your brain and which way it's leaning towards, which I think is kind of a nice feature to show that, you know, it's affecting your thought process. Maybe not actual thought process, but like at least it gives you a visual framework to show you that the person is thinking. So I'm curious if they got on the boat, they must have either just discovered this boat and they're the first person on this boat, or previous people who came on this boat have been killed before, which would probably add to the monster count, the number of monsters down there ready to kill them. I wonder if they're gonna have any clowns or show any things like that. And you know, they have a really good atmosphere. One thing I do like is that even though these games are different games, you could tell they look visually the same. Like you could tell this is made by the Until Dawn creator. Same way you could tell Hidden Agenda was made by Until Dawn and Impatient, because there's a certain thematic and visual appeal that is specific to their type of game that is very different from like Quantic Dream. And of course they're all using different engines, so it's kind of cool to see that the integrity and their faithfulness to the type of atmosphere they created Until Dawn is still being represented and still being used, because they, you know, love it or hate it, Until Dawn is still one of the best narrative games out there. Only recently surpassed, I would say, by Detroit Become Human. I'm not sure what's going on with him right here, but he seemed like he's like tripping or going crazy. And I'm like, is he... So he just ran in there, shot his stuff, and got killed.
What just happened?
And I think, I'm wondering if there's an option to see what exactly happened, because of course they're looking down here now to see where he go, but he's gone, and his hat and flashlight is left. So we kind of have an idea which characters might die really quick. I wonder if there's a way to save him though. Maybe there isn't, you know, because again we're seeing the first 9 minutes, but it might be the first 9 minutes, it might not be, because again this game comes out 2019, so this could be 9 minutes after, like, you know, a chapter 2 has already passed. And one thing I do like about Supermassive games is that they usually give you an introductory chapter that kind of establish some backstories as to why these characters think and act the way they do. This, of course, helps you identify with the character and you know, understand where they're coming from, not just from a video game representation, but from an individual within the scope of the narrative designed for this game. You know, I particularly like what they did in Until Dawn, but even more so when they narrowed it down to 1 or 2 characters like they did in Hidden Agenda with Becky Marney. You really understood why Becky Marney, you know, acted the way she did in Hidden Agenda, because you could identify based on what happened with the corrupt cops and, you know, what they did and how they let the trapper, or how they created trapper from being such corrupt policemen. So it kind of highlights the different tragedy that people might have and how it colors or makes their perception and judgment different going forward. So I'm guessing they'll also more likely have some extra hidden items or Easter eggs for you to find, kind of like how in Until Dawn you probably have the totem. See, I like that little brain thing. Left, is that a brain or heart? I can't get 12. I think the left one is a heart and the right one is a brain. Which I'm not sure why they visually put it in there, what it represents, because I know they have always altered between like butterfly effect, ripple effect for Hidden Agenda, and then now it looks like it doesn't quite show the ripple effect like it did in Hidden Agenda. I'm not sure if they're going to use the butterfly visual effect like they did Until Dawn. So I'm kind of waiting to see how this progresses, especially when it comes out next year.
Look at this.
Secret found. Okay, so they'll probably have some Easter eggs in there, especially with the whole secret found. I wonder what else they'll have that will add to the replayability. Obviously, the different branching endings will be the main replayability as to why people move. Alright, so, like, how are they coming through the water? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, it must be either ghost or something of that nature, because they can't come through water unless they have some kind of mystical powers. Come on. Yeah, I definitely might do an ugly choice, especially since I did one for hidden agenda. How is she even gonna escape this part? That's like... Now, overall, where I see this game landed is that it's not quite going AAA, but it's going like mini AAAs, like a series of mini AAA games, higher quality than Telltale games, but lower quality than Quantic Dream's AAA full games. So okay, so is he a monster then, or is this like a dream? We don't quite know yet. So, but you know, that's the clip that IGN uploaded, 9-minute first playthrough. So definitely go. I left a link to the original video, so go give them a like. I definitely want to give credit where credit is due. But overall, I'm really excited that they're doing this, because I do feel like there is a market for higher quality narrative games within the realm of, like, Until Dawn. It doesn't necessarily have to do like what Quantic Dream did, because Quantic Dreams they've released like masterpieces of narrative games, but it takes years to produce such a quality content. I mean, it took them what 6-7 years to do Detroit Become Human, especially with everything they had to do. The tech demo for Kara was like almost 8 years ago, so so that gives you an idea that how long it takes to make that quality type of game. Until Dawn, I don't know how long it took for Until Dawn, but I know from what I recall, it was probably more than 2-3 years, give or take. So them, like, not necessarily diluting the formula, but like splitting it apart, but keeping the potency of what it represents in terms of Until Dawn, and splitting that amongst a series of game and an anthology series. I think that's a smart idea, because there isn't really any games like that. I can't count Telltale games, because Telltale games is episodic, and so it's not necessarily self-contained. And on top of that, it's not the same quality as like an Until Dawn, which is using a much better engine than Telltale games, or even Quantic Dream, with their engine, which they usually build a new engine for most of their new adventures. So with that, I feel like how I see this will shift the narrative game market is that, Quantic Dreams will still be like the #1 in terms of the masterpiece of AAA, games, but Until Dawn, Supermassive creators, they'll be like the second tier in terms of, or the second, not second class, but like second after Quantic Dream, and they could hover between like smaller quality games like Hidden Agenda, and of course what we're just looking at right now with Man of Medan and the Dark Pictures Anthology series, that which is other games within that umbrella, and then after that will be like the episodic games like Telltale games, etc., etc. Either way, I'm really excited for this. Anybody knows me knows that I love these type of games, so definitely stay tuned for seeing a good, bad, and ugly playthrough of this game when it comes out. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a like and comment. Let me know what you guys think of the trailer so far. I really want to hear your thoughts, whether you're excited, you're not excited, you're kind of meh right now. Either way, it's a conversation, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.